I'm gonna go from this to this look. Easy, every day. We've got the new ILIA on, we layered it, we tested it, we tried a couple of new things. So stick around, we're gonna figure out how to put all this together, and I'm gonna talk you through everything that I put on my face and like so much more. Here we go. I tell you, I procrastinated this video recording. How are you doing? How are you doing? Hopefully you weren't procrastinating as much as me. This is in shade light medium. This is reminiscent of the Serum here. This is much less than the ILIA. This is just 1 ounce. The ILIA is 1.5 ounces. Significant, not really. If you want to use this for sun protection, you would put it a line on one finger. This is what I've learned. Correct me if I'm wrong. This tends to get a lot of feedback. There's barely a scent. It is so lightweight. It feels like a velvety, silky texture. So it's a little bit more viscous, but not very. And this is going to provide mostly glow and protection. Yeah. It's going to be very subtle coverage. Something like this is meant for that. There's definitely a bounce. Look at that. And I'm just going to use fingers here. Easy enough to use. I'm just going to keep it there for now as we proceed. I would normally apply this all over the face, but I'm just going to use it there for now because I'm being extra cautious. And that's it. That's how easy it was. And to be fair, that amount could have gone all over my face and not felt heavy or greasy. It's actually really lightweight. It's melting right into the skin. It's not feeling like an oil slick. It's a very positive first. So skincare, sun protection, slight tint, these are all things that we've seen out there on the market. It's probably really hard for people to differentiate at this point, but you know, this is why we try it out. I'm going to put something on top of it because I want more coverage. But for reapplication, this is going to be the thing where you're not going to reapply every 2 hours if you have something on top of it. So normally I like something with a little bit more coverage to it if I am going to wear that and then reapply it for my full sun coverage. Tinted things I rarely use as just sun protection. So all that is to say, I like it so far. It just depends on how you want to use it. This is the Araza Coconut Cream Foundation. You guys asked me about this one a while back. I have been testing it for a while because some days I love it. And some days I'm like, really don't like the feel of it. The main drawback here for me is that this is rich. It is thick. It is on the oilier side. It has MCT coconut oil in here. I think this is going to work for some and definitely not work for others. But I have found ways to get a really nice finish with this. However, the glow is strong, but even more so, I feel it on my skin, and I don't like to feel it with the touch test. It looks good. It's just the feel of it. Full scorecard is up on the site, so you can check that out, learn more about what's inside, how it works. You know, this also claims to have zinc protection in there. I'm not sure what percentage. They don't publish the percentage, so I wouldn't rely on it for sun protection, but that's just me. More coverage. The other reason I kind of liked it is if you take it in your fingers and you just go like this and you put it on the face that way, you're going to get more of a sheer coverage with that. But if you're looking for a light coverage product and you can tolerate the ingredients in there, great. There is an essential oil blend. However, I think this could be irritating. My skin gets a little bit irritated from it. Just because it's happening to me doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. But just be cautious, you know, look at the ingredients. This crew already does that. I don't need to tell you. And then I take the remaining and we'll put it on the forehead. If you've been watching me, by the way, this channel is 9. It's 9 years old. So I just want to take a minute and recognize the fact that we've been here for 9 years. And for those of you that have been with me, I thank you. I feel like a lot has happened in the last 9 years for me and my life. Where I was 9 years ago is drastically different from where I am in my life now. That tends to happen in the course of a decade for some of us. I love this channel. I love this community, and I just want to take a second and say thank you because I don't think I would have stuck with this for 9 years if it wasn't for, well, obviously, you guys watching. It does help motivate me to publish. But even if it hadn't turned into anything, it was really helpful for me during some really difficult times in my life. I mean, I remember during the pandemic in California, I held onto this channel with a vice like grip. It was like a touchstone for me. So everything else was chaotic and moving around, and this channel remained. And I think a lot about social media and like where I want to put my brand on social. I think probably too much about it. And I always come back to YouTube and I'm like, should I keep going on YouTube? Because you have to look at the return on time. And I'm always like, yeah, I just am so glad that, yes, YouTube has changed as a platform. I'm not always happy with what Google does, but like, listen, it is life. So I just love it. And I thank you. And thank you for being here. Some of you say that my reviews have helped you, but I just want you to know that this channel has helped me. So thank you for watching. That's all I'm going to say about that. But 9 years, girl, 9 years. It's almost a decade. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Time flies when you're putting on makeup. So that was the Sweed powder, and it's going to give you this sort of gorgeous blurring. I've talked about this in the last video. It's a beautiful product. I love, 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 love. However, we can still feel it. And this is even with the ILIA underneath, and that was a very lightweight layer. So I'm bringing the Jones Road Yellow powder into the mix, and then when I do this, I can basically put it on without looking closely. That dries it out a little bit more for me. And by dries it out, I mean it just takes away the tackiness, but not too much. It's not going to look like Bisquick. This is more powder than I would normally wear. So that was the other drawback with the Araza. I feel like I needed to fuss with it too much, and I don't like doing that. I just want one and done. So advantages and disadvantages. I do have the new withSimplicity concealer. They did send this to me, that lovely team. Thank you guys so much. And the card was like, I hope I got the shade right. So they did a good job. I have this in shade Willow, and it's sort of a cooler neutral. It kind of matches my sweatshirt perfectly. That's weird. I've just been playing around with this. This isn't necessarily a first impression. This is on the wetter side of a liquid concealer. Look at that. My brain just sort of stopped working for a second. That was amazing. Look at how good that matches, though. Doesn't necessarily mean it's always the best for under the eye, but we rub it in. This is all I do now with concealers. Buff it all in and then just press it into the main area to see what it can do. It's lighter weight. It's not like a oomph brightening. That has to do with shade as well. But I like it. I don't instantly love it. It's not giving that brightening that I want to see, that my allergies give me the need for. What? I don't know. That sentence was rough. Dark circles. Allergies cause them. I need a little bit more brightening. I could use a brightener because those are everywhere now. So I could put an under eye brightener. I have reviewed several, probably more than I've posted on the website, to be honest. But it's doing something. Probably could be a multitasker better than most. And then I just sort of press from there. And then the other thing that I would do too is just pop a little on the fingertips and even out the eyelids. I am seeing some creasing, so I'm going to set under the eye. Here it is. It's right in front of my face. I do like that this is in a glass container too. I love a good glass container. I know sometimes it has a bigger carbon footprint. Listen, it's complicated. Supply chain, environment, sustainability. It's complicated, but I like a glass container. So I'm going to set it. It's going to need the setting. It's playing very well with anything that I throw at it. So I think it's right now for me sort of a middle of the road option. I don't know. These are beginning days. This might be the third day that I've tried it. And the other days I wasn't really focusing very well. So moving on to the next. I've been doing this every single day this week. So this is the Gen C liquid eyeshadow in Plush. This is a very dark chocolatey brown color. I put a little bit on my finger. That's all you need. And then blend it out in between your fingers and then I just pop it onto the lid. It's a very everyday thing. If you want, you can add a little bit more. That was pretty light. I really did not give myself a lot of product there. But it's very silky when you blend it, so it doesn't smudge and it doesn't gather. It blends so nicely on the eyelid. I've mostly played with the mattes. I haven't played as much with the shimmers. It's been a really long time, but I know I have some shimmers here that I need to test out. But look at that. And then there's no creasing. You don't have to think. You just kind of put it on your lids and move along. Then I've been using the Victoria Beckham. This is their cream eyeshadow stick. I really want to get the ILIA eyeshadow sticks in the mix here more. I've tried them a little bit. This is in shade Trench, which seems, again, like everything's matching my sweatshirt today, but it seemed like a nothing shade to me, and now I love it. Do you see what it... These are the weird things that I find in the morning when I'm drinking coffee. It's not too dark, and then it sort of blurs it out a little bit. So if you deal with, I don't know, like crepiness or something like that, this could be a cream shadow that would work for you. It's hydrating and it doesn't settle into lines or creases like that, sometimes, and you can watch for the course of this video. Sometimes you'll see the crease come through in my videos because it's just too much product or I haven't blended it out or it's just the formula. That's not happening with this. This just sort of is very easy. That might be the theme of today's look, is just easy. The other little trick that I've been doing lately is using something like this liner from Soch. And then, I literally just dabbed my eyeball. And then I just tight line here. It's not new. It's not fancy. It's just a nicer way to add definition to the eye if you don't want to go all the way across the eye with eyeliner. And you don't want to look like you're wearing a lot of eye makeup. I'm gonna do the other eye really fast. It's funny because I procrastinated. I'm filming this at the end of the day. I'm winding down. Whenever I take a shower and wash my hair, I'm a nighttime shower person. I don't know if you're a daytime or a nighttime shower person, but it has now been the perfect signal to my body that is, we're getting ready to go to bed. So I might be extra calm for this video unintentionally. It's just the shower. It's the shower. And you know how when you have a weird day and then you take a shower and everything's okay? That just happened for me. It was kind of great. Before I got into the shower, I went down this rabbit hole. Again, you guys with the Get Ready With Me, sometimes weird topics come in. There's this thing called the Desi Project. Look it up. It's in Arizona. It's in Tucson. I don't know if you've heard about it. But the things that they are discovering are mind-boggling, mind-blowing. The scientists, the ones, whoever they are, I love them. There are 47 million galaxies in the known universe. I feel like that kid from Jerry Maguire that talks about random facts like the human head weighs 8 pounds. But there are 47 million galaxies. I mean, let that sink in. And oddly, I think some people see space and they're freaked out. I just have a thing with space. I don't know what it is. I just like to know that there's black holes and you can hear what black holes sound like now. Have you ever heard that? And people freak out. I'm like, that is cool. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm an alien. I don't know. I doubt it. But 47 million galaxies. And I'm over here trying out a tinted SPF in the Milky Way galaxy, which I think it would take 100,000 light years to travel around through. I don't know. Again, look at the facts. But there's no way that our minds can comprehend that, right? That's just the Milky Way. And then I heard that 70% or so of dark energy, they don't know what it is. They don't know why it keeps expanding. We don't know what 70% of what's out there is. You get it. Terrible sentence structure. End of day. Shower brain. So just when you start to think about, man, I should have gotten more steps in today, 47 million freaking galaxies. Come on. I've gotten very weird and existential all of a sudden, but I believe that just knowing that that's a possibility, that that's out there, that we don't know really what's out there, I mean, anything is possible then. What we think is impossible could be possible. I have gone on a total space mind bender. What? I don't know. But I can tell you this. Anything that I'm throwing at this ILIA, I thought that was starting to be a reaction. I don't know. I'm nervous. It's playing very well with everything else. The only thing is the Araza's on top. I would probably wear the ILIA and then use a little bit of a cream concealer or a liquid concealer and that brush. Where'd the brush go? The 109 brush. Press it out. You saw the redness at the beginning of this. That was because I just scrubbed my face, but also there is redness on my skin. This is part of my life. I would just use that right here to even it out a little bit and then be on my way. So I like it. The other thing I wanted to tell you was a rediscovery. This is just a powder bronzer. I received this brush from Jones Road with their bronzer, which is a nice powder bronzer. It seemed too big. Now I love it. It's very soft, very sort of densely packed. Actually, I lied. It's very soft. It's not densely packed. See how it's spreading on the face? It's good. And you can just go like this and get sort of the placement that you want, like that, because of this angle for the brush. I rarely talk about this, and I, again, wasn't the biggest fan of it when I first tried it, but this is a great little powder bronzer brush. Way to go, Jones Road. I really enjoy it. By the way, I have their new blush sticks, and I don't know where I put them. I'm pretty sure they're downstairs where I take pictures of everything, but I have them. So I'm going to talk about them in the next video. If you would like me to, let me know if you want to see them. We have the Miracle Balms and now they have the blush sticks. Let me know. You tell me. You tell me. I have 3 shades, I think, in that. I'm going to check the concealer and see if it's creasing. Yeah, it's creasing. It's creasing. It's a wetter, thinner concealer. It's making me feel like it should be more of a multitasking concealer. Like I'm really using concealer as foundation all the time now. I think I just talked about that in the last video, right? I think that was me. That was me. And then I haven't put on my mascara. Although a lot of the kids these days are anti-mascara. I never wore mascara in college. I remember that being a thing where my friends were like, why aren't you wearing mascara though? And I was like, I don't know. I never wore any makeup. I lived my freshman year with 3 girls. They were 3 sophomores, and they put 1 freshman in a sophomore. They call it a quad, and it was a co-ed thing. It's a long story. It ended up starting as the worst year of my life and ended up being the best year of my life because I made all these friends because I left the room because those girls said, we didn't want a freshman in here. We're going to try and get you out. There were 2 kind of meanies, mean girls, and then 1 really sweet person who I think just got lumped into it. She got lumped into it. You know, she's the one that just sort of is really nice and just goes along with it. She was sort of the Gretchen Wiener of the situation. But anyway, so I remember they were from New Jersey and I went to school in Boston, and they would lay out their brushes and they would lay out their MAC. Sorry, I just touched the mic, but they would lay out their products and their brushes and then they would wash their brushes. And it looked like the weirdest ritual I had ever seen. I was coming from spending hours in a CVS, because that was fun. I went to high school in Connecticut and then I went to high school in Nashville. Very different experiences as one could imagine. Nashville was still a very like Grand Ole Opry, Denim and Diamonds, but also Vanderbilt and like cool stuff. But it was not what it is now. It is completely different now. I would get the Almay quads with the brushes that were in, the spongy brushes, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, I loved it. I would get the Bon Bell lip glosses, and the flavors and the fragrance, it was like totally toxic. It was terrible, glittery crap. But that's where I was coming from, and I just sort of used my fingers. I did not have mascara. I did not wear eyeliner. I did wear, wait for it, you will not be surprised, bronzer. I was still big into bronzer back in the day. Loved me a bronzer. And I had Jess and Joanna and Tate. Oh my God, I haven't thought about those names in forever. And they were over there like laying out their brushes and figuring out which eyeliner out of the 7 they had they were going to wear. We ended up kind of being friends, kind of. But I'm grateful to them because I hated being in that room. And so it forced me as an introverted extrovert or an extroverted introvert. I don't know. But it pushed me out into the hallway where I met all the entire swim team. And then they became my close friends. So if it weren't for Jess and Tate and Joanna being crazy, I would have never made the friends that I made. Sometimes that's just how things go. You think it's the end of the world, and it actually ends up being the best redirect ever. You know, we're talking about Milky Way galaxies. We're talking about DESI projects. We're talking about Mac in college. We cover so much ground. This is from Jones Road. This is their lipstick in Tulip. So this is it without liner. This is how I used to wear it. I mean, I would have done a little bit more of a precise application, but this is without liner, okay? Liner from Sweed. I really do like their lip liners also. They're very, very creamy though. So if you have lip lines, you might not be into them. This is a very neutral, sort of dusty mauve, which is my number one favorite. We shouldn't be talking. Normally I don't go all the way around. So that's the bottom. And then a lot of people line further out, which is totally fine. I try, but I don't go too far. I am trying this new lip mask at night from OneSkin. I'm seeing really good results. My mom has been pushing me to try this. Judy has been on top of it. She's like, could you please try it? Because I want to get it. And I'm only almost a week in, and I will keep you posted on that. But in terms of plumping, and then also I have a little bit of fine lines over here, lip line. So this is it with the lip liner, but it's also blurred out a little bit. I actually really like this. I would still play with it a little bit more. Like now the color has gone all the way on the inside. I could do lip lining and lipstick. This is where I could live for at least 30 minutes. I don't know what it is. I find it very calming, very meditative. Maybe some people do this with their mascara. Maybe some people love this part with their eyeliner. I don't know. But this I could just keep going and playing with until I get the desired look, which PS, I never know what I don't know what I want until I see it, which is kind of a metaphor for life, but not true because sometimes I know exactly what I want before I see it. Okay, I personally like this better. I think it makes my lips look a little bit fuller, maybe? I don't know. This is when I start playing more, and I have another one in front of me, so sorry. This is the ILIA Overglaze Hydrating Lip Gloss. I have been going through all of my old reviews and writing discontinued or closed on so many products, you guys. I just wanted to update my database because I'm working on another project. This is in shade Mosaic. I love this shade. This is a cooler shade. Normally I wouldn't bring this into the mix. I will swatch this for the review on its own so you can see the shade on its own. Anyway, I'm a little shocked and kind of also not shocked at how much has come and gone. I did not get enough gloss on there. There you go. Light press so I don't mess with the color in there, but that's the lip. I just think that looks drastically better from where it was at the start with just the lipstick. That's just me. I don't have filler, obviously, I think you can tell, but this is it. It's a very, very easy everyday sort of look. Touch test wise, the Araza is still giving me that feeling I don't like. If it were just the ILIA and then I tried the concealer on top of it, I think this with any concealer would work really nicely. The thing about this is it is so lightweight and it is giving the glow, but it's not a heavy dewy glow. So I could see people liking this if they like sheer coverage. And yeah, I think we got to a good place. Thank you again for being here. Thank you for 9 years. If you've been here for 9 years, even if you've been here for 2, even if you've been here for 2 months, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed getting ready with me. Anything that I talk about will be linked back. If you just want to see my favorites and you're like, I just want to see your favorites or the best by category, check out Britt's picks. You can check out the boss guide there. See you right back here real soon. Until then.